If there's one industry I hate, it's car insurance. Because basically, if you want to have any sort of life, you need to have a car. Um, yeah, sure, you can survive with a bus or rail, but oftentimes it's actually more expensive doing it that way, and you have to live by schedules, and you can't really carry that much stuff, and it's just generally a lot harder. Can't really go to work. You can go to work a lot easier with a car. Anyway, so you basically have to have a car, and to have a car, you have to have car insurance. So the the car insurance can charge whatever they want. All of them can, because they know we need to have it. Now, you could let's start with the prices. So when I started driving, my first ever year of car insurance, I had a crappy Fiesta that was about 20 years old, and it I paid about £600 for it. So it was a cheap car. It wasn't very good. And the insurance was £1,600. Now maybe if I'd got a slightly newer car with maybe a less than a 1.4, it might have been slightly cheaper, but still, that's not the point. The point is, this was with a black box, by the way, as well. So you're really, really limited by what you can use your car for. Can't really drive that much. I could only drive 3,000 miles a year. I could go further, but it would cost me, I think it's about 75 pence a mile, which is stupid. Like, that's not even affordable. Like, even with the price of diesel as it is now, about £2 a litre, that wouldn't be like, that would be like 5 times as much just insurance than it would be for fuel now. Back then, petrol was 130 pence. Anyway, so the excess also was £850. And the car, like I said, I paid £600 for it. It wasn't even really worth that, because it was a shit car, broken all the time. Anyway, and basically, the new drivers get stung the most for insurance. It's really a big expense for them. And also, I bet one reason why driving lessons are a bit expensive is because the insurance is probably pretty expensive for instructors. So that's kind of understandable, because they're drivers. Although taxi drivers, I know they pay thousands of pounds a year as well, and they're professional drivers, so they also get ripped off. And commercial drivers, so also, for instance, food delivery drivers like Uber Eats and that. If I wanted to do Uber Eats in this car, which is pretty standard car, it's only a 1.5, it would be £2.30 an hour. That's just stupid, because like you basically don't make any profit after you fuel and insurance and fees and stuff like that. So I did try doing that, but it's not really doable. So one way that they could bring down the price of car insurance is make it optional. So if the government now make it not legal, make it optional. So you can choose to have it. You can insure your car. If your car's valuable, you can insure it. If your car's not valuable, and you might not want to pay for insurance, it's not insured. But if you crash into somebody else, their car's insured because they chose to have insured, or they didn't. Either way, if you want to insure what you have, just like your house, insure it. You're welcome to insure it. If you don't want to insure it, don't. If it's worth insuring, up to you. You can insure it. This would bring the prices down, because then people would have to decide it's worth having it. So if it's a choice, well, then the price is going to be lower, because the insurance companies want to attract people to have it. And if you got a shitty car, you don't really need to insure it, and there's no point. Everybody else is insured, so you can just drive a cheap car around, and you won't be paying 3 times as much as the car in insurance, which you'll never get. Even if you get it written off, you won't even get paid anything, because it's above the excess. So it's a complete scam. So that's one way they can do it. Another way they could do it, this is a bit less likely. The government brings out their own national car insurance, like national health insurance, but it's car insurance by the government, so they'll pay out in the event. It'll work like a car insurance thing, but it'll be not for profit. So you won't pay more than but it'll be not for profit. So they'll operate at sort of baseline, and So the car insurance industries will have to try and match the price of a not-for-profit industry, and to do that, the prices will come down. Now, this is the least likely of them, because it's a bit hard. You don't really want the government doing it, but it's an option, and it could definitely help to bring down the prices.
And the third way to bring down prices is, for example, charge the same amount of premium as they do now, right? Which is really high, but that's what people are paying anyway. But if they don't have an accident, that's not their fault. So they don't have an accident, then the company should refund the premium, about 90% of it, or 95%. Keep small fee for the administration, and the sort of small amount of liability, because some people might cheat the system, but still refund the bulk of it if there's no claim made